Welcome back. This is Bottom Line Africa. Kenya is also sending off former Cabinet Minister Simeon Nyachae, whose burial is taking place at his rural home in Kisii County after a funeral service at Kisii Stadium. President Uhuru Kenyatta and a host of other leaders attended the funeral service. Nyachae died on February 1st at the Nairobi hospital.
The Nyachae and my father and our family have a long and rich history. So today, when it's the day that we are resting Mzee, it's important that we reflect on his life. We've had a personal experience with him. He was a man of great character, intelligent man, loyal man, determined man. We will miss him. And he was a loving father. I remember when he used to come home, what struck you was his sternness. I've heard that he was a disciplinarian, that he was, but his intelligence and his quiet intelligence and his loyalty. It's difficult nowadays to find people of that character. But ladies and gentlemen, there is something which I think if we have to learn from Mzee Nyachae, is that to be successful, to reach the pinnacle of your career in personal and business, you do not have to steal.
From you, I have learned much. You taught us by example to accord respect and dignity to everybody, irrespective of their socioeconomic status. Courage has been one of your greatest virtues. You always courageously stood for what you believed in, even against all odds. I recall when I was chairperson of the Commission for the Implementation of the Constitution, many times doing my job properly required rubbing the establishment the wrong way. When this happened, and depending on the perspective of the person speaking, people would say, he is courageous like his father. Or they would say, huyu ana kichwa ngumu kama baba yake. Either way, I was proud to be associated to that virtue of yours.
I explained that at the time the relationship between the late Musa Nyandusi's family and the family of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. We are family, and I explained how I first came to Nyosia in 1954 when I was a small boy, the home of the late Paramount Chief Musa Nyandusi. He was a great friend of Jaramogi, and therefore we are a family. I have had occasion to have long discussions with Simeon, together with our late friend, late Job Omino. And through those discussions, we shared a lot with Nyachae. Nyachae is somebody who was schooled in the tradition of the British civil service, which basically promotes excellency and correctness in service of the people. He served at a time when there was a transition from the colonial system of administration that we had inherited to ours. And that was the time when some of you may know the Ndegwa Commission report had been published, which has allowed civil servants to be engaged in business, private business.
As we mourn the departure of Mzee Nyachae, we equally celebrate a great patriotic Kenyan, a consummate administrator and public servant, an astute businessman, a brave and courageous politician, and a loving, strict, but also forgiving father and father figure. Despite the differences in age between me and Mzee Nyachae, as Charles has said, we had a relationship. And Michael, when he read Mzee's eulogy, he mentioned that Mzee was a very strict person. And occasionally, he took out the cane and straightened people. Michael did not mention the list of people who became either victims or beneficiaries of Mzee Nyachae's cane, because he ran the risk of including me in that list. And I think it's an appropriate moment for a confession that apart from the blows and the other measures that were meted on his immediate family, those of us he found in politics, he also did not spare us. He made sure that we walked the straight and the narrow.
Wangu mzee, tumejuana miaka mingi kutoka utoto wangu, na mashauri mengi amenipatia mpaka pahali ambapo nimefika. Siwezi nikasahau. Na nataka niwaambie jamii ya kwamba hata tukiendelea mbele, vile mzee amenishika mkono, mimi pia niko tayari kuwashika mkono, tuendelee safari hii pamoja nanyi. He was a disciplined man, and I liked the person mzee ambaye ametukumbusha the most important thing. He was an honest man and a man of dignity. And without doubt, he was a disciplinarian. But not only in disciplining others, but the discipline within which he carried himself. What he expected of others is what he expected from himself. So it's not that he was out there saying, wewe fanya. What he was saying you do is how he lived his own life. And I think that is a very important message to take home. That we were not here to talk about somebody who used to talk at people and do the opposite. No. What he told us to do, he himself did. And that is the manner in which he lived his life. Kwa hivyo, siku ya leo, mimi sio siku ya kunena. Ni siku ya kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa maisha ya huyu mzee. Ni siku ya kushirikiana na familia, kuomboleza pamoja, kusimama pamoja nanyi na kuwaambia ya kwamba mko katika maombi yetu na tutaendelea kushirikiana kwa mambo yote ambaye yatakuwa mbele yetu.
In other news making headlines from across the continent, Ebola hemorrhagic fever has